Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered. Today, it's going to be a match between Ares and GyungDoo here on Andromeda. This is a GOSU Gamers replay sent to me by Lazaros. These replays have never let me down, and I don't know who these players are, but I figure it's an incredible game because it's part of this pack. Alright, top left-hand corner is the blue Terran player. It is Ares. Is this too slow? I think somehow I hit D there by accident. And in the bottom right, it is the teal Protoss player, GyungDoo. Again, don't know who these dudes are. There's some crazy APM going on in the early stages here, though. That is 600 and 450 APM, respectively, with a blue player, who is Terran, in the lead right now. Again, I hear your voices, non-Carbot loving fans. I'm not going to do all my replays in Carbot, but some of them will be, because other people enjoy it very, very much. I feel that's the best I can do, and it's a good compromise. Alright, so a TVP with a person from the Ever Clan named Saber, watching and observing, and he's Zerg. Zerg watching Terran and Protoss fight each other. That seems pretty lore-friendly. Okay, so nothing too crazy yet. No proxies. Maybe, nope. Maybe there's going to be a Nexus first here. Nope, that's a gateway. I'm just looking for anything out of the ordinary here because GOSU Gamer replays are basically just crazy stuff that you're never going to see. Again, Dark Archons, Battle Cruisers, lots of, I don't know, lots of Guardians and Devourers and things like that. Just stuff you don't see in a normal game of Brood War or StarCraft Remastered. Alright, so the Probe Scout is going to go ahead and check the wrong place here on Andromeda for his Terran opponent. But hey, if you don't check here, how will you know? It's like, oh, maybe the Terran didn't wall off. And nope, definitely no command center there. And good reaction time there as well, recognizing there's no command center there. Didn't go all the way up to check. All you need to see is the very corner of where that command center would be. And then you go back and check another location. This is a good sign. These are two decent players. I mean, if you can, I don't know. I was going to say, if you can spam 540 APM at the start of a game, you're not terrible. I have started APM spamming at the start of my matches. And, I don't know. I don't know that it makes me a better player, but I can achieve 500 APM. It's totally doable from somebody who is as scrub as I am at the game of StarCraft. So, I'm going to go ahead and not say this is a pro player, but I'm going to say they're not horrific. Because I'm not horrific. I don't think, anyway. People ask this, like, how good are you at Brood War? I'm like, well, I got placed in the B rank. And then I let that sit for a minute because B rank is actually pretty fantastic in Brood War. And then I tell them, well, I think that's partially because I got matched up against the same Zerg player 3 times in a row during my placements, and he left the match instantly every time, which hugely inflated my results. And everybody I play in B is significantly better than I am, and I don't feel like I belong. I got there, again, I didn't cheat to get there, like, it was incredible, weird happenstance that some dude was interested in tanking his MMR while I was doing my placements, and I won 3 games. I won another couple of ZVZs, and then I lost a ZVT. So I'm at 4-1 in my placement matches. But man, the people I play against, this one PVZ that I played because I main Zerg, the dude just sent zealots after zealot after me, and just I saved my natural base, but it took a lot of micro, and I was like, all right, I saved my natural. I should be in a good place. He sent all those zealots after me, and I go to attack him, and he's got Storm, and he's got Archons, and I'm like, oh, these lurkers that I have is not going to be enough, it turns out. He was just macroing his face off behind it. It was some really impressive play, and I'm like, well, this does not bode well for Falcon in B level, in B, what was it even called? B League? It's a bad sign. I'm not even sure what to call it here. Anyway, 2 SCVs moving out for Ares, and this is scouted by GyungDoo. He sees this and says, what? Why are you sending 2 SCVs across the map? That doesn't make any sense at all, and it really doesn't either. At this stage of the game, it's too late for proxy attempts. Oh, look at this center base. That's beautiful. That's even better than fighting Spirit. Is it? Might not be better, but it's pretty awesome. Yeah, this is like the weirdest SCV scout attempt of all time. Is this just him trying to scout? And he recognizes I can't get 1 SCV across the map, but I can get 2. Look at this probe. He's like, I don't want them to see my expansion. We're going to let them go inside the main, then I'll expand. and the SCVs die. So all they did was scout the natural, which I think you probably could have pulled off with one SCV, but whatever. Whatever and never, amen. All right, command center coming in here from Ares. He is playing pretty greedily. I mean, he's got the one factory and the one barracks, handful of Marines, and a tank. It is time for an expansion, which you can actually generally do on a map where you can bunker up, but that's a pretty wide area to bunker. It doesn't seem safe to do so, so that's what the tank came out before the expansion attempt. Expansion on the way now from GyungDoo. Again, he did hide that pretty effectively from Ares. Going for Singularity Charge. Going for Robotics Facility. Coming up. What the what? I thought I clicked on this, but it was still in the Command Center, which is being built over here, and it said, it's a Robotics Facility, StarCraft. That's not a Command Center at all. No, sirree, Billy Bob. So, expanding at this point in time is Ares going to head on down. Dragoons pushing across the map as Singularity Charge is almost done by the time they get here. It'll be ready to go, but man, Siege Mode is almost done, and there are 2 tanks here. This is just not going to work out at all. There are some Marines to support as well, and there aren't that many Dragoons. If there were maybe 4 or 5 Dragoons, they could maybe jump on top of the tanks in Siege Mode and kill them, but not 2 Dragoons versus 2 tanks. That is a bad ratio. Bad here for GyungDoo. He is throwing up another Dragoon, sending him across the map, seeing if we can find what he can do here. Another gateway coming in here as well. Robotics Facility finishing up. I have to imagine that's probably going to be an observer first, just because you have to be prepared for spider mines. Although, I don't see spider mines being researched here from Ares. So, tanks, and more tanks in the early stages of this match. Just high grounds them too, so the Dragoons have a really hard time breaking this. They might be able to wander up this way, sneak along that edge, and get behind that mineral line if they want to. Would they take any tank fire? What's the range on this guy? Is it that far? I don't know if it's that far. In StarCraft 2, there are circles that show you the range of a siege tank if you click on it. No help in a Brood War, that's for sure. And this is even in the remastered client, which is a lot more helpful to casters than the original one is. Hey, look, spider mines on the way from Ares. So, an observatory would not be bad, as an observer is now on the way. So, observatory done. Observer on the way while I was talking about it. And Dragoons just containing. They're not even going to try to get in there at this stage, which, honestly, probably pretty smart. There is a missile turret here, which I can't imagine is for anything from the air, probably just for detection, in case it was a quick DT rush after the Dragoons, which is a totally viable strategy. We've seen it done before to some success, but not for Ares. Ares is covering his bases. His APM has fallen down to 376 from the 500 that he was before. GyungDoo at 200 or so, down from the 350. So they're still managing some pretty decent APMs. This Dragoon is going to kill this power generator all by himself. I guess there is a probe helping too, but that just allows access, I'm assuming, to a third base you can take. We'll get there. We'll get there eventually. If GyungDoo is trying to knock that down, then it makes sense. Bengalasses! They are tigers and panthers and striped and mixed all together. It's a very interesting evolutionary choice here for the Kaprulu sector. Barracks scouting around, because who needs a barracks when you're playing against Protoss? It is mech and more mech all the live long day. By the way, did you know that I'm playing through the Carbot StarCraft 1 campaign right now out on twitch.tv/Falcon Paladin. It's a fun time. You might have seen one of the VODs throw up here on YouTube, but they're not all going to be here. If you want to watch me play the whole darn thing, you got to go to Twitch. You got to either watch the VOD over there or watch it live. It's fun to watch it live. You can tell me what I'm doing wrong. And you can bet on whether I'll complete a mission successfully or die. Which can get a little hairy. I actually lost the NORAD too in one of the early missions. It's that TVT mission where you got to go take down the power generator. I don't know. I mean, when's the last time you played this, right? But yeah. So basically, head out there feeling way confident in my army of tanks and Marines, and I brought my battle cruiser along because he's awesome. And man, we got wiped out. Totally got wiped out. And the campaign teaches you bad lessons about StarCraft if you ever want to play competitively or on a ladder. They're like, if you move out early, you'll die. You got to turtle up and never move anything out, because even if you move a little bit out, it might trigger the AI to come overwhelm you and destroy you. It's just the worst possible lessons to teach somebody who wants to be good at StarCraft on ladder, because you want to scout and you want to move out early and get pressure on your opponents and whatnot, but not in the campaign. That backfires immensely. Anyway, is there anything I mean, what are we looking at here? Academy? Probably just for Comsat, Armory for upgrades. Spider Mines is done. Are we laying any spider mines out on the map? The Vultures are thinking about it. I don't know if they've actually laid any yet. You're not getting through there, that's for sure. But Spider-Mines at the front door are really annoying. At this point, range is done and observers exist. So I don't think it's going to be too big of a problem here for GyungDoo. This is not the earliest Spider-Mine laying I've ever seen from a Terran player. But Arbiter Tribunal on the way from GyungDoo. So holy smokes, man. He is going for Arbiters off of 3 bases, I guess. But there's no gas at the 3rd. And is this just gain... Is that just... I guess that's just a dropping point is what that is. You can drop units in here, come in and attack the main base if you want to. But you have to get through the power generator first. And that's why there's detection up that away. And Bane Glass hanging up on the high ground over there. So Spider-Mine's all over the place. Nothing really out of the ordinary here. There's a pylon up in this direction, which kind of feels like a scouting pylon in case the dropship comes by. It does get seen by that vision, but it also means it's very susceptible to dying. Dragoons running around outside of the map. It is just tanks, tanks, and more tanks, man. It is so many tanks on the ground right now from Ares. He's working on additional factories, in particular 5 at a time. There is an unspoken gentleman's agreement between these two players that we're not going to attack each other. Not really attack each other for the first 20 minutes of this game. Which is fine. It's a 20-minute no rush. I mean, sure, you can attack the outside, like the periphery of somebody's base. They got a pylon way out there, sure. You can lay spider mines if you want to, sure. Can you get I mean, the barracks is burning down. There's no saving it at this stage, so goodbye to the barracks. Observer just seeing what he can see out here at the front door of Ares. And the answer is missile turrets are on the way, so maybe you should pull back a little bit further, Mr. Observer. You're going to take some shots when that thing comes up. Dragoons. Oh, did that hit? That one hit. Oh, that one did not hit because the Dragoon would be dead. And that one hit because it got the Dragoon and his friend with the splash damage. Yeah, Observer pulling a little bit. There you go. Pulling back just a little bit there very intelligently. And throwing up third base in the bottom left here, GyungDoo. Not really in a position to protect it, although he did slide some Dragoons over towards the bottom here to get rid of vultures that might try to harass it. As I'm not sure they know it exists, but they're just running around to different expansions trying to figure out if and where the third base for GyungDoo is going to come. Well, fourth base, but again, this is minerals only. We'll call it a fourth in the bottom left here. How about that? Storm on the way from GyungDoo. It's currently 135 to 118 total supply in favor of the Protoss player. Oh, and expanding again. Yeah, this is how you do it. This is how you do it. This is how you beat a Terran player who's going a lot of tanks. So you expend a whole ton. You make 500 gateways. And you just attack into that tank line and keep it as low as you can for as long as you can without sacrificing your entire army. So we'll see if that's what happens or not. Honestly, it's a two-part strategy. You expand a ton and you're very aggressive, which is not what we're seeing from GyungDoo at all. He's really sitting back, hasn't made any kind of an overt attempt on anything that the Terran player has. And I mean, this is a pretty macro-oriented map with that free third base right inside your main. Yeah, that's insane. There is a single cannon back here who's actually not enough to hold off all of the vultures that Ares has on the ground right now, which is a whole lot. It looks like around 12. Dragoons pushing through the minefield. Not enough to save that cannon, but enough to save the base at the very least. And yeah, you got to leave some protection here for your fourth base. Also got to protect your fifth base at the 3 o'clock. And the Terran player just not expanding as much. He doesn't have to. His units are more cost efficient. He should be able to trade, you know, a tank for 3 or 4 Dragoons if all goes well for him. Probe transfer getting intercepted here by these vultures. Goodbye. Goodbye, vultures at this stage. So, I mean, yeah, I'm kind of feeling good about what GyungDoo is doing right now. He's up in supply. He's got arbiters, a lot of them. He's going for zealot legs. This base is not adequately protected as all these Dragoons came to the bottom side instead of protecting the 3 o'clock position. And now that probe is dead. All because the Dragoons were in the wrong place. And is there it's a Kakaru. Why are you heading back this way? I don't see any reason. Oh, he's just giving it up? He did some Dragoons from the main base to clear this out. Okay, that's fine. I can live with that. Totally. Spider mining the center section here, the center base. Which really nobody should try to hold unless they're really ahead. And if you're already that ahead, it's just kind of it's a baller move at that stage to hold on to that one. EMP on the way from Ares. Gravitic booster, faster observer movement coming in, and Vulture speed is not done, is it? These vultures don't seem to be as zippy as the other ones could be, but there's no way he forgot vulture speed, right? You need it if you're doing this crazy mech thing. Arbiter coming up the left side. There is a missile turret here and a ton of mech there too. I think he saw it. I think he saw it coming up this left side with this observer, and he's preparing for it. I'm not sure what the Arbiter can do at this stage, but attempting to go for a fourth base is Ares. Nope. Dragoons are going to try to deny that thing on some level. If they can. Spider-Mine's getting laid all over the place right now. Charon booster coming in. Goliath's on the way here too to deal with the Arbiters, I have to assume, as it is not a carrier play from GyungDoo at all here today. He's just working on Arbiter energy. Ground armor. GyungDoo is just happily clearing out Spider-Mines wherever he can find them on the map. Doing actually a pretty good job clearing Spider-Mines today. The number of vultures that are on the field and the number of Spider-Mines that have been laid, there are a handful remaining of all of those today, which is pretty good job. Pretty good job mine clearing there from GyungDoo. But it's 190 to 171 supply by golly and by Grabthar's hammer. There has not been a major battle in this game yet. I have cast 15-minute games of Brood War that are much more exciting than this one so far, and really, again, nothing is too insane. But we're not done yet. We still have some time to see what makes this belong in the GOSU Gamers Replay Pack. It's not simply length. It's not simply this was a good macro game. It's always something weird. What's up, Rhinodon? Hanging up down there. Hanging up down there? Hanging out down there. I don't know. Like, maybe the vultures aren't getting to their main top speed, but that's a lot of tanks, man. I really recommend... Okay, all right. GyungDoo kind of moving into this tank line. And there are the scans, but it's after the Zealots get on top of the tanks. It's a little bit late on that scan there, and suddenly tanks are falling. Dragoons are taking tank fire, but nice stasis on a couple tanks on the right side. The left side's getting focused down by the Zealots right now. And GyungDoo actually pushing through and getting some stuff done. Another tank's going to go down on the left side. And by that I mean it's going to be... Oh, it does actually go down there. The vultures were a little bit distracted at that time. And that's enough. Kept the tank count, reduced the tank count, sacrificed some units, but not the entire army. And GyungDoo is executing the plan perfectly. The plan of how to beat Terran in a PvT is as we're seeing now from GyungDoo. Expand a whole bunch. Don't allow him to expand all that much. If you can help it. Is this an island base? It looks like an island base. That is definitely Terran favored then. Makes this map a little bit Terran favored in general, I would say. Any place you can have an island expansion, Terran's good at taking those. Once again, Dragoons pushing up right now. They do have the +1 attack. Tanks are at +2/+1 though. +2 attack, +1 armor. Arbiter taking shots from that Goliath and not really moving out of the way either. But again, the tank's getting focused down. Nice storm on the right side on those vultures and fighting on in. The vultures are trying to fight by themselves. Their two friendly tanks that are remaining are stasis, but the spider mines getting laid are just too much. And GyungDoo decides indeed to pull on back home. Successfully does take the 9 o'clock position, though, does our Terran player Ares. He's got a dropship with 2 tanks in it. This is probably just defensive, though. No, is he moving? He's moving out with these. Really? Just with 2 tanks? What are you planning on supporting those with, man? Nothing, apparently. He's just going to land here and not in range of cannons, I assume. He's not, I mean, is he going to bother sieging them up? Oh, he does. He does siege them up in range of this mineral field. Blah, blah, blah. Going after the tanks. Some probes in the vicinity. Do take some damage, but don't actually go down. And Arbiters have to come down to deal with this, which is incredible stuff. Vultures in the center of the map here fighting. And that tank does get cleaned up. I mean, that wasn't the most intimidating, most effective drop of all time, but it did kill a cannon, and it did kill a few probes in the process, so we're not going to call it a total failure at this stage. Vultures cruising around at the speed of sound. Is that a covert ops? That is a covert ops. We're going to start Ghost production here soon out of Ares. EMP. Good spell against Protoss. Removes all of the shielding from any Protoss that it hits and affects in an area of effect. And it's, man, it's really, really good here in StarCraft Brood War. It only does 100 shield removal in StarCraft 2. So it was nerfed pretty significantly. At least currently that's what it does. It's been changed. There have been a lot more patches to StarCraft to StarCraft 2 than there ever were to StarCraft 1 as far as balance is concerned, which I find interesting that they didn't do many more balance patches for StarCraft Brood War over the years. I have had it asked if people think these skins that we're seeing as the 12 o'clock base does get arbitered up here, and then arbitered again. Did he arbiter them back home? He arbitered some units up here to handle this base, and then just arbitered the rest back home. That was cool. Nice recall. Recall in, recall out. But yeah, if that meant that maybe we'd see a balance patch of StarCraft, I just can't imagine it. There are too many Brood War fans out there that are too hardcore that would just be up in arms if there was a balance patch update to StarCraft Brood War. I don't see it happening. I think Blizzard is too afraid of those hardcore Brood War fans to do that. Even the remastered skin was not really received well by many StarCraft fans. It's just there were a vocal minority, a minority, if you will, really made themselves known and made themselves heard about. They don't like skins in general, but major engagement here in the middle of the map. Again, scans revealing the cloaked units. Dragoons are fighting largely against vultures here, but the tanks are starting to fire now too from the outside. The vulture count is still pretty heavy. There are no zealots remaining here whatsoever. The flank attack from the other side of zealots getting some stuff done. Actually distracting the tanks. Meanwhile, SCVs coming in to the 3 o'clock base to kill themselves and free up additional supply for the Terran army. I feel like those Dragoons could take down these tanks if they wanted, and the tanks know it too. So they're going to go out of siege mode, which makes it actually easier for them to engage in these situations. Goliaths are trying to pick off the Arbiters, but there's 2 of them. You're never going to get them in time before the Dragoons murder you. Tanks sieging up again. We're just dancing a little bit here in the middle side of the map. Science vessels in production. Haven't really seen them. The EMPs available there. Oh yeah, so Ghosts in this stage. Gonna be pretty good against Zealots and gonna be ready for nukes too. So I don't know that we have any nuclear silos on any of these command centers here. I don't see it. I don't see it, but it doesn't mean we're not gonna get there eventually. That might be what makes this game awesome, is the presence of nukes. Eris is trying to expand in this top right-hand corner. Zealot says no, but then Vultures tell the Zealots to get out of their neighborhood. And then the rest of the Protoss army shows up and says, this was our neighborhood first. And the tanks are here, and the tanks are actually not. They're pulling back. Some of them are sieging in the back. Some of them are staying in the front to deal with the Zealots. Vultures swinging around to the top side to try to help them there too. Man, this is a pretty decent engagement here out of both players. I really don't see GyungDoo winning this one, though. There are just too many tanks. The Science Vessel providing that vision that's so important when the Arbiters are on the field. You don't have to scan anymore. The Vulture's getting picked off, and kablooey. Hamster Huey and the Gooey kablooey. Name that. That is a reference I'll be impressed if anybody gets. Let me know in the comments. One of my favorite things, though. See, double expanding? Well, he's thinking about double expanding, but this Zealot has other ideas. Can he kill the SCV before the Vulture kills him? He maybe could have. Oh, never mind. The Vulture had very low HP. That was a good decision there from GyungDoo. Is to maybe kill that SCV. SCV cancels the construction or pauses it and escapes. Tries to escape with his life anyway here. Tanks firing on this 3 o'clock position of GyungDoo. I don't know if there's enough army to stop this. It's a 200 to 155 army supply in favor of GyungDoo, but I kind of... Nice EMP, by the way. I kind of feel like this army is pretty intimidating. 3 attack on these tanks and these Vultures right now. Base is still under construction in the top right here, and I don't know if you can get in there. There's so many spider mines. The Zealots can't break this for sure. Dragoons don't want to go in there either. There's so many tanks with +3. As GyungDoo base racing, this really feels like a base race maneuver. He's just giving up this base over on the right side of the 3 o'clock. Heading into the 9 o'clock position of Ares, which Ares is prepared for. He's got some Vultures down here. He has some Spider Mines ready to wipe out these Zealots. Big time hits on these Dragoons, too. 1 HP on that Dragoon. I'm not sure how he's still alive after taking that Spider Mine hit. So yeah, losing that base is problematic. But again, having a couple bases, multiple bases down here to work with is pretty fantastic from the Protoss player. I think overall his income is pretty healthy, but suddenly it's 179 to 158. Ares has the lead. And once again, GyungDoo is forced to retreat and pull back from this position. He is now making High Templar, which we haven't seen Storm, though he did research it a while ago. Storm on tanks is pretty fantastic. Storm on Goliath are very good as well. Vultures are better at storm dodging than those units are, but still can take pretty lots of damage. Significant amounts of damage there. Pretty lots of damage. That's not grammatically correct at all, Falcon. Come on, you're better than this. But yeah, Vultures on top of Goliaths, on top of Dragoons all the live long day. Boy, this is a bit of a long day. Anyway, is this a probe transfer or a probe sacrifice? I don't actually know. Was I on the slower setting that entire time? Was I 1 below? I was wondering why those Vultures didn't seem very zippy. I honestly feel like the difference between that speed and this speed is just not enough. Alright, well, I'm sure it was driving a lot of you insane. Is this too fast now? I've done this before, and you guys hate it when I do this. Do those zealots have speed? Anyway, base is being traded here regardless. 9 o'clock position under assault by some Dragoons and some Zealots. Everybody just running willy-nilly in all directions. This bottom left-hand corner firmly belongs to Ares now. So, yeah, income is not healthy for either player at this stage of the game. Coming over to the right side, SCV trying to build a base at the 3 o'clock that he claimed for all Terrans everywhere. Yeah, it did seem a little bit slow, didn't it? I know you guys hate it. It bothers me too. The difference between the speed just lower than this and this speed is like, it's too darn close. I don't know what it is. It freaks my brain out every time. But anyway, we're in a position where income is going to start to dwindle from both of these players. This base is done. Like, GyungDoo is trying to mine from here for as long as he can, but it's not going to be too long. He does have the 6 o'clock base, which will give him some income right now, but both players' banks are dwindling quite immensely. Lockdown coming in from Ares. We do not see lockdown in games like this. That might be it. That might be the presence of lockdown for Ares. Whether or not it works or not, sometimes it's enough to include it in GOSU gamers. It's just, was lockdown attempted is the question, and by golly, if it was, we're good to go. Movement speed of a High Templar. That seems pretty good. Alright, so again, we're at a point here where the Terran player does not have income. He has 294 minerals, and that's it. He does have command centers he can lift off and land somewhere else for additional income. This 6 o'clock base, though, is getting dropped by some Vultures. What does this shuttle have in it? Nothing? Oh, he just brought probes over. Oh, no. All these probes are going to die. Why didn't the shuttle evacuate those? No, shuttle, come back. The Great Probe Massacre of 2019 on Andromeda is here. Wow. That was a huge chunk of the probe force for GyungDoo. I imagine he still has some probes on gas somewhere. He does. He just has some probes on gas somewhere, but that I mean like one. That might be a single probe remaining here from GyungDoo. Oh, my. Oh, he's got another one over here on the gas in the main. And he's got one stuck here, too. So he has 3 probes. He is down to 3 probes. Ladies and gentlemen, the left side base has been established by Ares. He's coming back, baby. Ooh, he lost his refinery. That was on fire and finally exploded. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. 110 to 129 supply. This just might be a down-to-the-wire match. Oh, there is a base up here in the top right that GyungDoo is able to hold, but guess what? There are tanks, and that probe is not smart enough to get out. So the probe is dead. Attacking frontal assault here is GyungDoo. Into the spider mines, into the tanks, which are technically unsieged. Guys, get up here. Respond appropriately. The Vultures do come in. Spider mines on top of all of the Zealots here. Vultures getting wiped out. Zealotkin, I'm not sure is high enough to do this. Great stasis on 2 of those tanks and a Kakaru. Storm on top of the tanks all along that left side. We got Stasis in the mix as well. Nice lockdown on the Arbiter, preventing it from cloaking and allowing it to get sniped off very easily. Storm of the tanks on the left side again. Is not enough to kill them in one shot, but it does help them get down to very low HP if you're a Protoss player who's trying to wipe out this tank count. 61 to 53 total supply. Tank down. Source of income by Ares is going to get wiped out here by these Dragoons. How many SCVs will be remaining after this? I don't know. We might just be down to a no income versus a no income situation where neither player has anything to do here. Oh, Archon's getting on top of these tanks. Oh my gosh, the tanks are gone. This Goliath doesn't want to fight there. These SCVs running for their lives. Archon's not triggering their spider mines because they float. Or SCV's always trying to build a base up in the top left side, but the Archons don't care. The Archons are not bothered by your spider mines. Oh, chase them. Chase them down. Why are the Archons coming back this way? Oh, spider mines taking down 3 of the Dragoons. They tried to follow where the Archons went, but they're not supposed to follow. Ah, SCVs! Oh my gosh, the SCV massacre of 2019. How many is this? This is 4. This is 4 extremely injured SCVs. There's another 5th one there. Zealots are chasing them around, trying to kill those dudes. We're at 75 and 58 total minerals. 40 to 41 overall supply. 33 for the Protoss now. What did he just lose? Something. Well, that tank's down. Is it, though, Falcon? Oh, that one is. And, man, Zealots are fast with speed. Nice. Spider mines. Nope. Spider mines again. No, they do take down a Zealot. Every unit is so precious right now. Look at these 2 Archons trying to make it work in the world today. 7 kills on that one. 1 kill on that one. This double Archon maneuver here. 2 more Vultures remain. They are sniping that Archon from behind, but he turned around. You better hope he doesn't turn around. If they can get that Science Vessel, though, shots on the Science Vessel is really bad for Ares. Where do those SCVs go? They're mining. They're trying to mine from this command center at the 9 o'clock. Nope. That one's dead. That one's dead. That one is dead. How many SCVs remain from Ares? I don't know, but he's making a ghost. Lockdown on the Arbiters, I guess. Maybe try to EMP the Archons while we're at it. Oh, there's 1 SCV. Is that it? 2 more SCVs went down in the middle of the map there while I was talking about EMPs. 9 kills and 8 kills on these Archons. Is that the entire army of the Protoss right now? Is 2 Arbiters and 2 Archons? I think it is. I am very emphatically certain that it is. Look at these. All these probes are long distance mining along the right side while all this craziness is going on and keeping Ares occupied on his side of the map. All right, man. There's your ghost. He doesn't have enough energy for 2 lockdowns, let alone 1. Wait, for 1 lockdown, let alone 2? What's the... Oh, gosh, that SCV... Still alive. Still alive. 1 SCV here from Ares. He has enough money to make another one if this one goes down. GyungDoo does have enough to replace a probe if he loses all of his. I keep thinking this is a base down here, but it's really just 4 spider mines is all we're looking at. Yeah, this is a down-to-the-wire match right now. I don't know how I feel about this at all. SCV there. Ghost. 3 ghosts. Okay. All right, all right. It seems reasonable. Some of them have good energy counts, too, actually. Some of them do not. Nice EMP. Oh, the EMP! Lockdown on the Archon! The Archons are getting shot at, but the Ghosts are getting murdered here as well. Ghosts down. Archon alive. 13 kills and 16 kills. And the SCVs are going to try to kill. They get one of the Archons, but they can't get the other one. It's the remaining Archon here from GyungDoo. Did he just win this game? I don't know, but there's another Ghost in production. He is just happily trying to kill buildings at this stage. There's an SCV from Ares down this way. The Archon needs to come down and take it out instantly now, if it can. 2 High Templar being produced with the long distance mining shenanigans of GyungDoo along this right side. Lockdown, Arbiters are alive. Archon is still alive with 20 total kills, slowly regenerating his shields over time here. A Vulture being produced by Ares 2. Again, he has tiny bits of income. Just the tiniest bits of income here. Where did that SCV go? Was he... No, maybe there are two. Oh, look at this SCV. Look at him. He's going to try to kill a probe. Hero of the Soviet Union there. Hero of the Dominion there. Oh, Vulture trying to take down the probes. Does scan. Gets one of the probes. Can he get another one? Oh, that's massive. How many probes are remaining here? Out of GyungDoo. Oh, no. Spider-Man, I think, killed his own dude. I think the Spider-Man that he laid killed himself in that situation, which is just tragic. Tragedy upon tragedy. Command center flying around. Where are their SCVs, though? Here it is. Here's the one remaining SCV from Ares. And he's running right... Oh, he almost ran directly into those Arbiters. EMP attempted. Is it even worth it on the Archon at this stage? He has so little energy anyway. So little shields. Anyway, oh, he made another Archon with the 2 Templar that he was able to make because of the long-distance mining. Bruh, bruh, bruh. Command center taking shots. EMP does take the Archon shields down to nothing, regenerating extremely slowly here. Killing command centers is a good way to win this match if you're GyungDoo. I don't even think it's worth repairing that. Oh, where did these guys come from? They're long-distance mining Vespine gas, which I don't think you need at this moment, but I guess any resources are good resources. So there are still more SCVs on the map here from Ares. He's hiding them here inside the main, hopefully protected by Spider Mines, but again, your main foe at this point are going to be Archons. Oh, and the Zealot, which does have 3 kills, by the way. The Archons are coming down at an angle to head off the SCV. They are pretty speedy as it stands. Defensive Matrix coming up on the SCV to keep it alive. Can we get there? Defensive Matrix allowing it to survive much longer than it normally should be able to. He's running. He's running from these guys. Can he make it back home? He does make it back home. And the Protoss decides to give up the chase. What a match this has been. Another command center going to go down. How many command centers remain for Ares after this one? None, apparently. He's done. He's out. Ares loses his final command center, and GyungDoo is your victor in 34 minutes and 15 seconds. Oh, amazing game between these two players. That's going to get an epic tag for sure. Look at these guys. Still 200 APM, 34 minutes into this match today. Where's our Hero Archon? Hero Archon, 25 kill Archon here. Vultures, tanks, SCVs, command centers burned out of the sky by the might of the Protoss. 2 SCVs remaining here from Ares, and I gotta say there were 2 probes. 2 probes from GyungDoo. Maybe he stuck one if he didn't remember it. No, you got that one out. The shuttle has... Man, that shuttle pilot, you need to be pulled up on court-martial charges, man. I think you're just a robot. Somebody gave you the wrong orders there, because when those vultures dropped at that 6 o'clock position, load up every probe you can and get them out of there. I mean, sure, there might have been Goliaths or like Marines or Ghosts or something in that dropship, but either way, the probes are all going to die. I'm not sure how much utility you have later on in the game, but I guess maybe that was it. He just figured there might be some utility on the shuttle later. I don't know if there was. I mean, I guess he did rescue a couple of these stuck probes from situations where they were stuck. And that did help with the long-distance mining here from GyungDoo. But the decision to make another Archon was massive out of GyungDoo. The EMPs and the lockdowns were fantastic. The defensive matrix on that SCV to help it escape into the main base was beautiful too. Good micro. Good micro at the end of the game here. Fantastic match overall. And yeah, I mean, what looked like a pretty convincing Terran win somehow turned into both players wiping out each other's entire base of income. And they're just not letting anybody get comfortable again for the rest of the game. And it turned into this crazy micro battle where you're trying to deal with your probes and your SCVs long-distance mining. Ares is trying to land command centers in random places to get more minerals. GyungDoo tried to chase down those command centers, find those SCVs, wipe out spider mines at the same time. It was just That was a good match. Really, really enjoyed casting it. Hope you enjoyed it too. All right, 34 minutes and 15 seconds on that elapsed time there. 200,000 points for Ares, 205,000 for GyungDoo. GyungDoo killed 399 units. So he produced 350, lost 338, which is basically his entire army except for 2 Arbiters and 2 Archons. Ares produced 565 and lost 474, which I don't think that math makes any sense unless you count Spider Mines as units. Are Spider Mines units? I bet they are. I bet they are. And then overall resources here. I mean, yes, it does favor GyungDoo. He did have more bases for longer than the Terran player did, but gas mine is pretty even. Total spent here, though, 58,000 for GyungDoo and 50,000 for Ares. So pretty efficient stuff there out of Ares, but in the end, didn't have enough. Didn't have enough stuff. Lost his final command center, or was going to. Saw the writing on the wall and tapped out. All right, well, that is going to be it from me. This has been Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered. Go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.